Hey, what up, guys? Just chilling here on my couch right now. Just got back from work and I needed to knock out this video on the fly. It's kind of a follow-up video from my last video, my vlog video regarding my mini cut for this upcoming summer. But I want to elaborate more on the idea of if I think it's worth it to reach single digit body fat if you're a male, which is between 7 to 10% body fat. And if you're a female, between 14 and 17%. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth the struggle? All the dieting, all the working out, all the discipline, because it's pretty damn hard. And how fitting is it for me to talk about this right now? Because I'm about 4 or 5 days into my mini cut for this summer. I'm only planning on doing this till about Friday. So by the time I upload this video, it's probably going to be like 3 or 4 days left. My personal opinion is that if you want to reach the ultimate pinnacle of your health and fitness journey, if you want to really test how strong you are, not only physically, because the physical part is tough, but I'm talking about the mental game, because dieting hard is no joke. If you've done it before and you're watching this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Your mind is really resilient and strong, but at any point it could just snap like a twig. It can break. But so it's all about, personal preference, and if you want to try to reach those levels, if you do decide to try to reach an extreme low body fat, you're gonna have a lot of challenges. The obvious ones are food cravings. Your energy in general is probably gonna go down a little bit. And assuming you're lifting weights, your power will probably go down. Now, some people's power doesn't go down as much as others. Everyone's a little bit different. But typically, if you're eating less calories and you're in a deficit and you weigh less, unless you're on steroids, you're gonna lose some of that power. You're definitely gonna lose some size as well. But a lot of guys worry about losing that muscle, that fullness, and if you're natural, that's going to happen. But to compensate for that, usually when you drop the body fat, and assuming you have a good solid foundation for lifting weights, even though you may weigh less on the scale, it's actually probably going to look more impressive when you drop your body fat. Because there are some guys I see at the gym, and it's no hate towards them because everyone, has different goals. But some guys are on that quote forever bulk mode, as they say, and that's basically guys that have body fats north of 15%, 20%. They lift hard, they work out hard, and that's really commendable. That's great. They're really strong. But some of these guys have never dieted, and how do I know? Because I've been going to my gym for years on end, and I haven't seen them ever trim down. And I'm not hating on it at all. I just want to point that out. It's their preference, like I said. But if you want to really see where your strengths are in terms of your body aesthetics, male or female, dieting down is gonna basically accentuate those muscles. And to give you an example, like for me, when I'm cutting, like my chest has always been pretty decent. I'm not sure why. I think maybe it's just when I was young, I used to do like a lot of push-ups. And then before I started lifting more, I did a lot of compound movements. And then I wrestled in high school, did some taekwondo. So I always had a decent foundation. So maybe it's that, maybe it's a little bit genetics. But I also work out extremely hard on my chest. My chest workout is really high volume, not much rest in between, and I go about 8 reps to failure, and I do some hardcore reps in general. But to get back on subject, regarding my chest, the reason why I bring it up is that when I'm bulking and I weigh more and I'm pushing more weight, because of the body fat, my chest doesn't look as prominent. Ironically, when I start cutting and I actually get lighter and I get a little bit smaller, my chest actually looks more prominent. So that's just a quick example. You won't know what your strong body part is. You may have a general idea, like let's say you may have really thick legs in general. And who knows, when you start cutting, maybe those thick legs will stay thick and you'll get really striated. I don't really get striated in my legs. That's like my biggest weakness. You won't know until you do it, but it's all about personal preference. Like I mentioned, is it really worth it? You know, and I bring this up right now because, you know, if I wanted to get down to how I was back in the heyday, back in like, I think it was like '08 or '09, for over a year, it might have been even 2 years before I started a YouTube channel, I did a lot of cardio. I did like compound movements 3 times a week, but I did a lot of cardio. I did like cardio 3 times a week for 30 minutes, and then I did an hour on Sundays. That's when I did a lot more running, and I was freaking pretty skinny. I was lean, I was cut, but I didn't have much size at all. But I was okay with it, and I sustained that for like a couple of years, and it was really, really rough. I don't think I'm ever going to get down to that crazy body fat. I didn't get it measured, but I had some pictures, and I was way more cut even compared to, you know, my body transformation series. The body transformation series, in terms of me being cut, I could have went a little bit lower. I've been lower before, but it comes to a point where in your life where sometimes it's not sustainable year round, and oftentimes unless you have supreme genetics and or you're pretty young, it may not just be worth it. Sometimes you just want to unwind on a Friday. You want to go out, have some beers, and you know, have some happy hour. Now, some people do flexible dieting. That's completely fine. But even with flexible dieting, you're going to have some restrictions. You're going to have to track all your macros, all your proteins, your carbs, your fats. There's a lot of sacrifice. And also when you go out socially, like my wife's been very patient with the diet, but you know, a lot of times we're foodies. I mean, we've tried over like 400 or 500 places throughout the Bay Area and California and all throughout the country. And on vacation, I just go full throttle. I don't care. Life is too short. It's all about being healthy. But I do challenge you guys and gals out there that if you have a good foundation and you've been lifting weights and you've been working out really good and you have a good head on your shoulders and you have a good solid foundation and you have never tried to get your body fat pretty low, I do, well, I wouldn't say challenge, but it's something to really think about, because when you do it, it really makes you mentally stronger. The first couple of weeks is always hard, but as the weeks go on, you just kind of get in that zone. The brain chemistry, you know, in your brain, you still have cravings, but it just starts changing. And when you start seeing changes in the mirror for the better, the confidence just gets really high. The hardest problem for me is the weekends. During the week, it's pretty easy actually, because I'm really busy at work and I go to the gym. And every time I go to the gym, even though I'm tired, after I finish the gym, I just get this resurgence. I always just feel more motivated. There's some days I'm like, oh God, like last year during the body transformation series, I did 10 weeks straight and I bulked too much earlier and it was getting really freaking rough. I was waking up and I was so tired the first couple of hours, and your brain too just gets kind of foggy at times, and it happens, but it's something that you can get around to if done properly and if you're willing to do it. So this video is getting way too long. I don't want to hit it 10 minutes. It's getting close. So that's about it. So in conclusion, is it worth getting down to those extreme levels? If you have a solid foundation, I think that at least one time in your lifetime, if you really want to test yourself and you want to see some great results, I think it's worth it at least one time. But for year round, to be constantly dieting and being miserable and depriving yourself of all these foods, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better to just, for a guy, if I'm rolling around 10 to 12% year round, and I'm happier, my lifts are going up, and then if I want to tweak a little bit like I'm doing right now, I could do a little mini cut and then go down. Same thing with female. If you're rolling around, you know, 18% or, you know, 19, 20, and then you want to cut down to 17, 16, I think that's definitely okay. That's it, guys, for this video. Comments or questions are always welcome. Thanks for all your support. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.